Hey friendly neighbors, I'm coming to you live from my home office in beautiful New York City, where unfortunately another Barnes & Noble has closed. This is the Citigroup Center B&N, which when I think about all the times I've spent there over the years and all of the amazing events, it's really sad. But I think in any negative experience, there's always a positive side. And the positive side in this case is that they let me keep my shelf talker. So these shelf talkers are the little labels that go under some of the book sections, and I'm very fortunate to have one in all the Barnes & Noble, almost all the Barnes & Nobles nationwide, and they're fluttery hearts. And so Citigroup actually let me keep a few of my other fave shelf talkers. So I wanted to just talk some shelf talkers today, bittersweet, but focusing on the positive. My fave YA author is Laurie Haltz Anderson. She is the OG of YA, obs. Laurie, I mean, she basically defined a YA section before there even was one. I remember reading Speak. I read it around 2001, I think, and at the time, a teen section was basically just forming. It was new. And I found my voice by reading Laurie's. So she has done so much for me, so much for everyone in the teen genre, and I love her so much. And if anyone ever asks me for book recs, I always talk about Laurie because she is my fave and the OG of YA. Okay, so so here's the thing about the Hunger Games, right? Dystopian's not really my jam. I'm all about the realistic. I love realistic stories and feeling like those characters are my friends and I'm living in their world and they're my BFFs and I could be their neighbor, and I love realistic references and all that stuff. So the Hunger Games was sitting on my nightstand forever. And because my friend David Levithan was one of the editors and he gave me the book and it was just sitting there for me, I'm like, probably not gonna read it, but thank you for the book, that's awesome. People were like, you have to read the Hunger Games. You have to read this. You have to read this. And I was like, yeah, that's okay. I'm more into realistic, you know, but thanks for the rec. And they're like, no, you don't understand. Need to read that. Gotta read that. So finally everyone wore me down and I started reading the Hunger Games, and I was up until 4 in the morning with my eyes burning out of my head, not caring that tomorrow I was going to be exhausted because this was so freaking riveting. As you know, I don't need to tell you, so good. So of course I was taking that shelf talker because that was crazy. Okay, this one, obs take. Why? Because Sarah Dessen, to me, in my heart, paved the way for teen romance. Notice my shelf talker said realistic romance by Susane Colasanti, and this says realistic romance from Sarah Dessen. And I just feel like her stories are so sweet and nostalgic, and they've got those summertime feels. And Sarah and I have a lot in common, particularly our love for summertime and flip-flops and longer daylight hours and all of that. So, and she has been an amazing mentor. I love the effects. She's just been a friend and a mentor, and she's such a sweetheart. So she's done a lot for me over the years, and I've learned so much from her. So, of course, I was taking this one. And then last, but not least, of course, so when you hold up certain names, you don't have to say anything. You just hold them up and it's like, obs. So this was an obvious choice. And those are my shelf talkers. So thanks for watching, friendly neighbors, and I'll see you again soon.